Hey guys, Edit Faces here. Putting this at the front of the video before we actually get started. Today is my baby bro Trade the Ace's birthday. So if you could click the link in the description, go to his channel, and hit him up with a subscribe. Thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of the video. Love you, baby bro. Happy birthday. What is up, guys? Faces Gaming here, and welcome to attempt number 5 of updating my Call of Duty tier list from Call of Duty 1 or Call of Duty 4 up to Modern Warfare 2 2022. So, the segment we're in currently right now is going to be a very short segment. This segment is going to be the early days. So, we're talking from Call of Duty 1 up to Call of Duty 3. I don't have much to say about these 3 Call of Duties, so real quick just to get this segment off the way, okay? It's a very short segment. Call of Duties 1 through 3, for me personally, they haven't aged well. Graphically, they haven't aged well. Control-wise, they haven't aged well. Because I don't even think... Did Call of Duty 3... No, I don't think... Did Call of Duty 3 or Call of Duty 2 introduce sprinting? I don't remember, but... Looking back at those Call of Duties based off like videos from COD Go 619, Dismo, Music, and HollowPoint when he did the evolution of certain weapons in Call of Duties back in the day, Call of Duties 1 through 3, they're not Call of Duties I would probably go back to them just for the campaign, okay? Multiplayer, not so much. But to get this segment over with so we can get to like the next segment, Call of Duties 1, 2, and 3 will be will sit at C tier just for now. Alright, so on to the next segment, which I'd like to call the Golden Age of Call of Duty. Alright, so welcome to what a lot of people call the Golden Age of Call of Duty. The Golden Age spans from COD 4 to Black Ops 2. Some people would argue and say that Modern Warfare 3 is where the Golden Age of Call of Duty ends, but those people they're not wrong, okay? They're not... Well, no, they're wrong. I'm going to be honest. They're wrong. And if they think Black Ops 2 is not part of the Golden Age, they just didn't like it because, it wasn't Modern Warfare 3, But, so, kicking off our Golden Age segment, we have Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. We're also going to be talking about the 2016 remake of the same name, okay? So, whatever I say for the original will go for the remaster aside from the extra stuff the remaster added, okay? So, starting with the campaign. Call of Duty 4's campaign is legendary, iconic. Doesn't get any better than it. It doesn't get any more iconic than missions like All Gillied Up. Well, basically, All Gillied Up is the one mission. If you ask somebody any mission from Call of Duty 4, everybody points to one, All Gillied Up. That's personally one of my favorite missions too. I love that mission. Like, doing that mission on Veteran was difficult, but it made me appreciate stealth segments in video games, which is why, like, I love stealth segments in video games. From like Splinter Cell to Hitman to Dishonored to like games like Tenchu, which are based on stealth. Any stealth segment in a video game I look forward to because it forces me to break. It forces me to think about how I'm going to get through. And in Call of Duty's case, whenever there's a stealth segment, well, shoot them in the head. That's about it. So next up for the multiplayer, I've said this before, I might not have liked the multiplayer, but I cannot deny what the multiplayer brought to the Call of Duty. Obviously, Call of Duty 4 brought us kill streaks. A 3 kill streak would give you a UAV. 5 kill streak would give you an airstrike. A 7 kill streak would give you a attack chopper. You got your attack chopper, you were killing the lobby. And on maps like Shipment, an attack chopper spelled disaster for the team that was about to get slaughtered. Also, we had custom classes. Introduced. We had perks introduced, like Frag ×3, Martyrdom, Stopping Power, Iron Lungs, RPG ×2, stuff like that. Perks that gave you a slight edge in combat or major weapon a little bit better. And in Modern Warfare 2016 case, and in COD 4 is 16, and Modern Warfare MWR, as people call it, excuse me. In MWR, Modern Warfare 2016, they introduced supply drops and DLC weapons that were never in the original COD 4. A lot of people hated this idea, but the other side, they were content. You know, that gave us new weapons, new toys to play with them in COD 4, even though those weapons weren't in the original. So, that being said, Call of Duty 4 is one of the most iconic and important games in Call of Duty ever. Because without COD 4, if Call of Duty 4 didn't hit the mark, games from World at War to Modern Warfare 2 2022 would not exist. COD 4 would be the last of Call of Duty, and Infinity Ward, Treyarch, and Sledgehammer would probably go on to do other things. I think Treyarch would still probably do Spider-Man games, or I think Treyarch would still do Spider-Man games. I'm not sure about Infinity Ward, maybe they'd do something else, but because COD 4 succeeded and propelled Call of Duty forward into its eventual takeover of the first-person genre, COD 4 is awarded A tier just because of how good it is still to this day. You could go hop on the original, or you could hop on Modern MWR and experience COD 4 either way. I will say though, it might be harder to find games that are on the original, so you're better off just getting MWR. But if you want that truly authentic experience, get the original, if you want to. Excuse me. Next up, we have Call of Duty 5 World at War, or World at War as people just call it. Call of Duty World at War is the 5th entry in the series, and Treyarch's second attempt at making a Call of Duty, their first being obviously COD 3. So, Treyarch took what they learned from COD 3 and things that were introduced in COD 4 and put their own spin on it. Yeah, we had a lot of returning perks like Juggernaut. We had perks like Jug, and I think Martyrdom in this game. I can't remember. I never played the multiplayer. I only know a little bit about World at War's multiplayer. So I know very little. But what I do know is that it brought the 3, 5, and 7 kill streaks back from COD 4, but put their own spin on it. 3 kill streak was a UAV. 5 kill streak was a airstrike type kill streak, and then the 7 kill streak were the attack dogs. Attack dogs would be seen in other Call of Duties like Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, not Vanguard, Ghost, and I think that's about it. Yeah. They might have been also in Modern Warfare 3, I don't remember though. I've never played a multiplayer, but we'll get there when we get there. But yeah, what it was multiplayer was basically a World War II version of COD 4. You're gonna hear me say that again later on in the video. Trust me about this. So World at War did what COD 4 did, but put its own spin on it, and it worked. A lot of people do like World at War's multiplayer, but a lot of people don't really like. They can't speak. World at War for the multiplayer. They actually prefer it for the zombies, which was first introduced in World at War. It was a special bonus after beating the campaign, which we're going to touch on the campaign actually right now before hopping into the zombies. World at War's campaign was a amazing campaign. It sets up the Black Ops universe so well, okay? And yes, you're probably thinking, no, that's not right. World at War has nothing to do with Black Ops. What are you talking about? Of course it does. World at War is the beginning of the Black Ops universe because of one character, Reznov. Reznov is introduced in World at War, brought back in BO1, and again in BO2. Although BO3 and 4 don't mention them at all. I mean, Reznov is playable in Black Ops BO4, but that doesn't really count. Yeah, the campaign is phenomenal. Loved every minute of it. And at the end of the campaign, you unlocked zombies. The first iteration of zombies, should I might add. We had our starter map, Nocturne and Totem. Then later on, we got Shino Numa. Then we got Varuk. And then we got fan favorite Darius, which brought us Pack-a-Punch. Varuk brought us, no, I think it was Shino. Shino Numa brought us Varuk brought us the introduction of perks and traps. Shino Numa brought us a mini Easter egg, not really a big Easter egg. And then Darius brought us the iconic Pack-a-Punch, which has been in every single version of zombies out there, from BO1, BO2, BO3, Infinite Warfare, World War II, BO4, and of course Cold War, and Vanguard as well. World at War is another important Call of Duty because if World at War didn't have zombies, zombies wouldn't be a thing. It wouldn't be as popular. It wouldn't have been as popular as it was. It's not as popular now, but trust me, it was. So, World at War gets to sit right next to its predecessor in A tier. As for Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 2 is a Call of Duty where it and Black Ops 2 are up for discussion every time when people say what is the best Call of Duty game ever made. And on Modern Warfare 10, here we stand on Modern Warfare 2 side for just this second, okay? So, Modern Warfare 2's campaign was phenomenal, and it had a pretty good side mode in Spec Ops, although not as good as Zombies at the time, but it was good. It was good, don't get me wrong, it was a lot of fun doing a lot of the Spec Ops missions in there. And then the multiplayer. The multiplayer is what gets people hyped about Modern Warfare 2 when they look back on it, because the game was horribly imbalanced. Then unbalanced. Let's be honest here. Every gun was broken and overpowered, and everything was just overpowered in Modern Warfare 2. But here's the funny thing, though. That's what people liked. People loved Modern Warfare 2 just because of how unbalanced it was. Because everything was unbalanced, everything was viable. Literally, you had the high tier weapons like the FAMAS, they had like the FAMAS, the SPAS 12, the ACR, the SCAR, every single gun in that game was overpowered. We also had some overpowered perks like Steady Aim Pro, Assassin Pro, Ghost Pro, Commando Pro. We also had broken items like One Man Army. And noob tubes. Noob tubes were literally the bane of everybody's existence. I'm glad I didn't really play Modern Warfare 2 all that much to experience it, but people that were in those lobbies dealing with one-man army noob tubes from across the map, from across the Wasteland map, Afghan map, and even Terminal, I feel bad. I feel bad. I just took a water. Sorry about that, y'all. I just took a water break. Sorry about that. But yeah, Modern Warfare 2 is another important Call of Duty because it started a discussion that still goes on to this day. So with that being said, Modern Warfare 2 also deserves to be an A tier along its two older brothers. Literally, right now, Call of Duty was on a hot streak. From COD4 to the Modern Warfare 2, Call of Duty was on a hot streak. It was about to get better. With the next entry, and Treyarch's third entry in the series, Call of Duty Black Ops. Getting the campaign out the way now, Call of Duty Black Ops campaign is an amazing follow-up to World at Wars. It's so good. I can play that campaign every single time. On easy, normal, hard, and veteran. I've beaten it on hard, and I cannot imagine doing it on veteran. I already got that trophy. I'm good. I don't need it. Multiplayer is a bit like... It's funny how I like Black Ops 4's multiplayer. This is the same thing that Black Ops 1's multiplayer. That's interesting. But besides that point though. So I wish I had to give Black Ops 1's multiplayer a little bit more of a shot, because I would have fallen in love with it, because I don't know. I just didn't, because I was playing Black Ops 2 all the time, which we'll talk about later. And then the zombies. Zombies, it was again great. 2 is straight. Treyarch had struck gold twice when they gave us World at War, and then they gave us Black Ops Zombies, which, we had maps like Kino, 5, Ascension, Call of Dead, Shangri-La, Moon, and then they also brought back the World at War maps. Sheesh. Black Ops 1 again sits right up there. A tier getting kind of full though, but I mean, can you blame it though? We're in the Golden Age. This is where some of the best Call of Duty games were made to a lot of people, right? Call of Duty, Black Ops 1 sits in A tier along its older brothers, okay? Next up, we have Modern Warfare 3. Now, Modern Warfare 3 is interesting because it's a Call of Duty that split people, okay? Whereas like people that loved the overpowered nature of Modern Warfare 2 didn't really like it as much. Whereas people that didn't really like the overpowered nature of Modern Warfare 2 loved it. You understand what I'm saying? Modern Warfare 3 To a lot of people, it's a great Call of Duty. Literally good. The campaign, I didn't finish it personally, but I did enjoy every minute of it. I did get to see the ending. The ending is crazy. Multiplayer was a more balanced Modern Warfare 2. Again, the Modern Warfare 2 people hated it. A lot of people hated it, but eventually warmed up to it. The people that didn't like Modern Warfare 2's unbalanced nature loved this game. And this is where the iconic Requise clip from Phase Jov took place. So, and then Spec Ops and Modern Warfare 3, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion, myself included, was better than Modern Warfare 2. It's like Modern Warfare 3 has the best Spec Ops mode. I'm not gonna lie. So, with all that being said, Modern Warfare 3 sits amongst its older brothers again in the A tier. These 4 Call of Duties in A tier literally paved the way for Call of Duty. And now we saved the best for last. Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Do I even need to really speak? Well, I am going to. I was gonna say it. I'm gonna say that, but no, I have to. Call of Duty. So, I remember back in middle school, me and my friends were talking after Modern Warfare 3 was just about to come out. Well, Modern Warfare 3 had already been out at that point, and we was talking about, rumors about Black Ops 2, and I was like, they ain't gonna make no Black Ops 2. You crazy? Like, how the heck do you think they're going to? How you think they're going to like outdo Black Ops 1? I'm thinking to myself, how are they gonna do that? So here comes September 20. Here comes like October 2012. October 2012 comes around, and then there's a trailer for Black Ops 2. Well, after having played COD 4, World at War, Modern Warfare 2, BO1, and Modern Warfare 3 at the time, I was like, I didn't get Black Ops 2 until February 2013 when I got my own PS3, and the rest was history. Let's just say that much. Campaign phenomenal, and campaign was phenomenal. That side mode in the campaign, the tactical mode, it was okay, but aside from getting a few trophies in it, I didn't really spend too much time on it. The multiplayer is where it's at. We'll get there in a second. The zombies was really good, really good. No, Transit is a good map with friends, and it's actually pretty decent alone though. But besides, going for Pack-a-Punch, that's the hard part. Nuketown Zombies was a lot of fun, and people write that map off too much. It's actually pretty good. Die Rise is okay. It's not the best map, but it could have been worse. Mob of the Dead is the best map. Was one of the best Black Ops 2 Zombies maps ever made. That's literally no more contest there. And then we have Barry and Origins. Now, Barry is a map that I remember playing, but I don't remember playing. Like every time I see it, I'm like, dang, why do I get the feeling I played this? And then Origins, well, I played Origins so much, okay? I played it a lot. Now for the multiplayer, I'm gonna sum up multiplayer in a few short words: fun, chaotic, and balanced. Now, Black Ops 2 it's not perfect here, okay? It did have its issues, The hit detection of zombies could be a little bit iffy, as well as multiplayer. Multiplayer hit detection was a little bit iffy at times, like going for a knife and like you knife someone only to just be knifing the wall behind them, or knifing the air behind them, and you get a kill. Hit detection was a little wonky, especially if the host had a bad connection. But if the host had a great connection, some of the best Call of Duty ever played. So, to finish off the golden era Call of Duty, Black Ops 2 literally doesn't need to go anywhere else than S tier. Literally, you could change Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops 2 if you want to. You could literally change those two, depending on your personal preference. But for me, I enjoyed Black Ops 2 way more than I did Modern Warfare 2. I still think Modern Warfare 2 is a great game, a phenomenal game. Even great doesn't even come close to describing it. However, when it comes to my favorite Call of Duty, it will always be Black Ops 2. Sorry, Mike, and I won't hear it otherwise. Okay, so we finally are done with the Golden Age of Call of Duty. Now, we go to what I like to call experimental Age of Call of Duty. So, I will see you guys there in just a second. Yeah. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our third segment, which is what I like to call the experimental era. So, this era consists from Call of Duty Ghosts all the way up to Black Ops 4. This era is where Call of Duty tried doing certain things with the franchise. Starting with COD Ghost. Now, campaign was pretty good, although I don't remember much of it though. I do remember it's pretty good though. I remember Simon, Ghost. I remember Simon. I remember Riley. I remember Logan. I remember Hesh. I remember Rourke. That's about it. And the cliffhanger at the end. Multiplayer wise, we'll get there in just a second. There was also a safeguard mode, which is basically survival from Modern Warfare 3. Didn't really spend too much time on that. And then we had, obviously, Extinction Mode, which was Infinity Ward's first take on a zombie-like mode, which was admirable, but it couldn't stand up to Call of Duty Zombies. I mean, come on now. Obviously not. So, the multiplayer, on the multiplayer side, Infinity Ward tried to switch things up a bit, and they didn't really do much of anything besides, mess with the perks. So we had a perk point system where a perk's point value would determine how many perks you could put on it. Like, there were 1-point perks, 2-point perks, 3-point perks, 4-point perks, and 5-point perks. 5-point perks were the biggest perks, were like the biggest and best perks, whereas the 1-point perks were strong but not as strong. That's my general understanding, because I didn't really understand the perk system in Call of Duty, so I'm not gonna lie. For me, Call of Duty Ghost, it's not a terrible Call of Duty, but it isn't the Call of Duty I'm fond of, so Call of Duty Ghost, unfortunately, is our first Call of Duty that will go into the D tier. It's not a Call of Duty I can see myself going back to a lot. Again, if you like Call of Duty Ghost, that is perfectly fine. You're perfectly allowed to like what you like, okay? But personally, for me, I didn't really enjoy it as much. Now, Advanced Warfare is a Call of Duty game that I was immensely hyped for. I was hyped for this game. Watching all of the commercials for this game before it came out, hype levels were real. And then I got it, and the campaign, I beat it within a single night. It wasn't very long. And then I went immediately after that into the multiplayer, got to level 45, and then kind of just stopped after that. The multiplayer of Advanced Warfare was actually pretty good at the time, but now looking back on it, there were a lot of rough spots with Advanced Warfare. Advanced Warfare is not a bad Call of Duty, mind you. And then we got the Exo Survival and then the Exo Zombies mode. Exo Survival is basically Modern Warfare 3 and Ghost Survival mode, just with Exos. And you could level up your guns you could level up your guns pretty much. And by leveling up your guns in survival mode, you could also add attachments to it. And then the Exo Zombies mode wasn't very good. So, all in all, Advanced Warfare was kind of like an interesting Call of Duty. Oh, it also introduced us to supply drops, which would go on for about 4 or 5 Call of Duties, Modern Warfare Remastered included. So, Advanced Warfare brought us supply drops, which no one thought of at the time, but it was about to get bad. So, Advanced Warfare is it's a middle of the road Call of Duty, and I'm putting it in C tier. It's a middle of the road Call of Duty. It's not bad, but it is kind of weak. It is the weakest entry. It's the second weakest entry in the experimental era. I mean, obviously, it kickstarted the whole jetpack era, which only lasted for 3 years. Next up, we have a Call of Duty that damn near perfected, excuse my French, perfected the jetpack movement, which is Black Ops 3. Campaign-wise, the campaign sucked. I'm just gonna be pretty blunt with you. Black Ops 3's campaign is one of the worst campaigns. It's one of the weakest, one of the worst campaigns I ever played, because it was just nonsensical. It made no sense whatsoever. It made no sense. They tried really hard to mind freak you, but it came off as a forced, definitely. And then we had a zombie-like campaign mode in Nightmare mode. It was fine, but again, nothing that I personally like, to be honest. What else? Okay, Zombies. Best iteration of Zombies so far. The best iteration of Zombies so far. Yeah, at the time, it was we had maps like Shadows of Evil. We had the Horizon Drop, the Giant, Zetsubo, Gorod, and then Revelations. And then I want to say a year later, during Infinite Warfare's life cycle, we had Zombies Chronicles come back, which brought all the World at War maps. all the Black Ops 1 maps except for Call of the Dead, and then Origins from Black Ops 2. Yeah, Black Ops 3 literally killed it with post-launch content. Plus, in the multiplayer side, multiplayer was really fun. Like trying to master the jetpack movement and like getting creative was interesting. Black Ops 2 introduced us to the pick 10 system, and Black Ops 3 brought it back with some new additions in the form of wildcards. Wildcards were like well, technically wildcards were introduced in Black Ops 2, to be fair. Wildcards are essentially like, let's see, how do I explain it? Well, put it this way, like wildcards allow you to like pick like primary gunfighter, which in primary gunfighter you could put an extra attachment on your primary, or secondary gunfighter where you could put your extra attachment on like your pistol or something like that. There's also perk 1 greed, perk 2 greed, and perk 3 greed. Like, if you played Black Ops 2, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, specialists. Black Ops 3 introduced us to specialists. These are characters that had special weapons and abilities. For instance, Ruin had the gravity slam and overdrive. Battery had the war machine and the kinetic armor. Firebreak had the flamethrower and the heat wave, and then Spectre had his ripper and then cloak. So each specialist had a specialist weapon, which was offensive, and then a specialist ability, which was either defensive or supportive. For instance, Seraph's combat focus allowed you to get double score towards your next score streaks, which were introduced back in Black Ops 2, which I didn't mention. Score streaks were introduced back in Black Ops 2. You know what I mean? You know. Now, with all that being said, Black Ops 3's campaign was not campaign. Multiplayer was phenomenal in terms of gunplay and advanced movement. It was so much fun to play. But the downside to Black Ops 3 was the egregious microtransactions in both zombies and multiplayer. They wanted so much money for COD points. And then the supply drops were heavily skewed against you. Like literally, you were not guaranteed if there was a new gun put in the supply drop. You were not guaranteed that gun. You know, on like games like Genshin Impact, you have a pity system where after, I think it's like 50 pulls, you get a guaranteed like 5-star. I think it is. I'm not sure. I have no idea. There was nothing like that in Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 3. You had to get lucky. And then certain event camos were locked behind supply drops. You had to get lucky for those. Now again, with that reason alone, I would put Call of Duty Black Ops 3 in B tier alone for just that reason. However, when I look past that and I look at the game as a whole, microtransactions not included. Included, it's right here in B tier. But not included, for me, it sits at the top of A tier. Black Ops 3 is a worthy, like in terms of campaign, not a worthy follow-up to Black Ops 2. But in terms of multiplayer, it literally is. There's a reason why Black Ops 3 is considered the best of the futuristic era. The best. And unfortunately, we have up next Infinity Ward shot at a futuristic Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Now, if you saw the launch trailer, people were so fed up with the futuristic era. The jetpack era. People were fed up. Infinite Warfare's campaign is one of the most disliked Call of Duty is one of the most disliked trailers. Has one of the most disliked trailers of any Call of Duty that's ever been out. But in my opinion, they were wrong for that. Sure, during Infinite Warfare's life cycle, no one was really playing it besides people that really loved Call of Duty. Everybody else, they didn't really care. No one really cared, to be fair. And everybody didn't really care about Infinite Warfare when Modern Warfare Remastered was out at the same time. But the only way to get Modern Warfare, people look, Activision wanted people to buy Infinite Warfare, so they bundled Modern Warfare Remastered in it with Infinite Warfare, I think it was the deluxe edition, just to get people to buy Infinite Warfare, Infinite Warfare on its own wasn't bringing in big numbers. However, after playing Infinite Warfare for myself, this game is highly underrated. I'm putting it in B tier just because. Okay, listen. Infinite Warfare's campaign is amazing. It's really, really good, and I really think people that missed out on this campaign at least should go back and give it a try because this campaign is phenomenal. Zombies is also pretty decent. Not as good as like Treyarch Zombies, but it was admirable attempt. And then the multiplayer, while not as good as Black Ops 3's, it was still pretty good for the time. I didn't know. Look, I got to level 40. Okay, I got to level 40, so I did play a good bit of Infinite Warfare. But after a while, I just grew tired of it. I grew tired. Would I go back to Infinite Warfare's multiplayer? No, not really. Again, like I said, it's not as good as Black Ops 3, but it is still pretty decent, and I think people were too harsh on this game. B tier is just fine. Middle of the road Call of Duty. Actually, not. I think about it. I might also put Advanced Warfare there too. Advanced Warfare was another middle of the road Call of Duty. Yeah, I agree. Up next, we have Call of Duty World War II. Now, Call of Duty World War II is an interesting Call of Duty because it took us back to basics. When I mean back to basics, I mean it took us back to like Call of Duty 1, 2, and 3. So we're going back to World War II, back to boots on the ground. Now remember, the last boots on the ground Call of Duty game we had at this point was Call of Duty Ghosts, and that was back in 2013. The year is 2017. Fortnite has just come out with its Battle Royale, and people are not really interested in Call of Duty, right? Everybody's over there playing Fortnite and figuring out how to build and doing the default dance and all that stuff. Now, I was playing Fortnite at this point. I did start playing Fortnite around... I didn't start playing Fortnite until around, I want to say, 2018 when Season 4 came out. But this isn't a Fortnite video. In terms of World War II, I did play it. Don't get me wrong. I was playing it. I didn't play it when it came out. I didn't play it when it came out. I played it a year after. When Black Ops 4 was a thing. Was the current Call of Duty, which we'll talk about in just a second. World War II is the Call of Duty where I ranked up. Well, it was the Call of Duty ranked up the most because I'm a master prestige in World War II. I put so much hours. I put so many hours. I put like 7 days worth of Call of Duty into World War II across all 3 modes: campaign, multiplayer, and zombies. And the campaign's actually really good. Just don't try to do it on veteran. That was a painful experience. The zombies is decent. Rather, like each map is a hit or a miss. Okay. The Final Rank is a hit. Grossenhaus is a hit. Darkest Shore is a miss, in my opinion. But it was fun to to run around with my baby brother and just try to go find Straub, shoot Straub and all that stuff. It was pretty fun. Multiplayer for me, that's where I spent most of my time. I put hours into this game, running almost every single mode. I even played hardcore free for all in World War II. Yeah, World War II was where I started to experiment with a lot of different game modes, like Capture the Flag and like Gridiron. I did play a little bit of Gridiron, wasn't like much though. My main focus was basically TDM, Kill Confirm, Hardpoint, Domination. And then I decided to play War. And War, once I started playing War, there was no going back. War was where I went. War was where I learned how to snipe. War was where I relearned how to snipe. And I loved every minute of sniping in World War II. Now, World War II is going in the B tier. It's a pretty average Call of Duty. I do love this Call. Don't get me wrong. I love this Call of Duty to death. I love this Call of Duty. People are really harsh on World War II. But it is the average Call of Duty. And so another World War II Call of Duty, and World at War did do it better. I'm not gonna lie, World at War did do it better, but World War II is not a bad Call of Duty. Heck, it's still bumping to this day. Although people are playing the Horde Rush, the Horde mode, the Horde Point mode, not really traditional multiplayer. Like TDM is still pretty populated. War is pretty much dead. Well, I don't know his word. I haven't played War, but you know what I mean. And finally, we have the last game of the experimental era, Call of Duty Black Ops 4. It's no secret that this game was also hated. Like, literally, the game came out buggy, unfinished, unpolished, just to beat Red Dead Redemption. Just because Activision wanted to beat Red Dead Redemption and Black Ops 4 wasn't ready, Black Ops 4 was rushed out the door. And it wasn't pretty. It was not pretty during this life cycle. Literally no communication from Treyarch or Activision. No communication. They had like tons of broken stuff for months until it would get fixed. We had some of the most egregious, even more egregious supply drop system than from Black Ops 3. And all around and Zombies was completely left in the dust. Completely left in the dust. All their money went to Blackout. All their money and resources went to Blackout. And which technically would start a trend if only we knew at the time. But here's the funny thing. With all that being said about Black Ops 2 4 and how the fact that it's the weakest entry, it's a weaker entry than Black Ops 1, 2, or 3. In my humble opinion, this is still a pretty average. This is a pretty solid Call of Duty because I'm sitting in that B tier. The multiplayer is still fun to play. I'm not gonna lie. It might not be, the servers might not. According to Go619, servers on PS4 are pretty much not working. And I have no idea. I haven't played Black Ops 4 in forever. I only made one clip of it, and I did get to Prestige 8 in the multiplayer. This game has no campaign. I didn't really care for Blackout. I did play Zombies, but it was only like maps like 5, like classified in 9. So even though I didn't really like play Black Ops 4 like I should have, like as much as like Black Ops 3 or Black Ops 2 or BO1 for that matter, I still did play enough BO4 to at least have a solid opinion. Okay. And finally, we have reached the end of the experimental Call of Duty era. Whew, I need a break. So for our last segment, our fourth and last segment, we will be heading into the modern era of Call of Duty. So I will see you guys in just a bit. And finally, we've reached the modern era of Call of Duty, which spans from Modern Warfare 2019 to the current Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2 2022. This Call of Duty has been up, down, and all around. So I hope that I'm able to steer this ship to the finish line. So let's kick this list off with the Modern Warfare 2019, shall we? Everybody was hyped for this game. Everybody was hyped over the moon when they heard the words Modern Warfare, right? It was gonna be like the graphics were gonna be out of this world, the gun styles were gonna be out of this world, and after playing the beta, it even had me hooked. After playing the beta, I was hooked. I was like, I bet Modern Warfare 2019 can't possibly fail. Well, I mean, technically it didn't, but it did, to be fair. But okay, let's see. Campaign is good. Spec Ops is trash, and multiplayer is not good. Like in terms of like the map, in terms of like the sound design of like the guns and like all that stuff, it's phenomenal. The graphics are phenomenal. But when it comes to the actual gameplay, Modern Warfare 2019 falls very short. And again, in my humble opinion, it falls very short. A lot of the maps are terrible to run around, except for Shipment and Shootouts. Piccadilly's not good, Freddy's Bridge not good, Garage and Raid from the beta, I didn't really like it. Hackney Yard's the only good base map. Crash came back, Rust came back, Vacant came back as well from the classic Modern Warfare. Then I forgot. We also had like an oil rig map, which was okay. We had the Pseudo Harbor, which was okay. Arkloff Peak, which was, and just so many weird maps. Like the maps of Modern Warfare 2019, they were just confusing to navigate. We want to know why they were confusing to navigate? Because Modern Warfare 2019 introduced the thickest skill-based matchmaking possible, and this is where we are now. If you don't know what skill-based matchmaking is, it's an algorithm in a multiplayer competitive game where it pits you against a player of similar skill, depending on your last 5 to 10 games. So, if the last 5 to 10 games you were cutting ass, excuse my French, the next 5 to 10 games you're gonna get your ass cut. Now, that doesn't seem like a bad thing, right? Because think about it, back in games like Modern Warfare 2007, World at War, Modern Warfare 2, BO1, Modern Warfare 3, BO2, Ghost, Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 3, Infinite Warfare, World War 2, and Black Ops 4, you would if you was getting cut up, you would then start cutting up with practice, right? And like the better you did, the happier you felt. The better you felt, the more you wanted to keep playing, and so on and so forth, right? Nowadays, the better you do, the worse your experience gets, because not only do you play players of similar skill and higher. Again, if it was only just that playing harder opponents, that's fine. I'm used to that. However, it's when they start to nerf you. They nerf your connection. They nerf your hit detection. They literally nerf you in every way possible to give the enemy team the advantage. Okay, and you want to know how else they do that? Well, you know how Call of Duty matches are like the teams are balanced out. The enemy team will have the sweatiest of the sweats on their team, and your team will have like the little Billies, Timmies, and Jimmies. Well, while you're out here fighting for your life, the enemy team is casually just dropping streaks after streaks after streaks after streaks after streaks after streaks on you. And your team is sitting there looking lost because skill-based matchmaking has to make everything fair. Everybody in that game has to at least get to at least a 1 KD. So I hope so. If after you get slaughtered in the game, you get an easier game, and you slaughter it, and you start slaughtering, enjoy it, because skill-based matchmaking is going to kick you in the teeth the next game. Modern Warfare 2019 started this, right? And it was bad. My lord, it was bad. Here's the thing though. Putting my personal being opinion. Look, me personally, I'd easily put Modern Warfare 2019 at D tier. Easily, without question, because I hate this game. I hate this game's multiplayer. I hate the fact that skill-based matchmaking was heavily cranked up in this game. I hate the maps. I hate the way people play. I hate all the dark spaces and corners that are in every map in this game. I hate everything about this game. But when I look at the good it did, does it really matter? No, it doesn't. It's my list. It's my list. I'm putting it in D tier. I do not like Modern. The only thing I like about Modern Warfare 2019 is the campaign. That's it. Multiplayer wise, this game's a joke. Look, again, to people that love Modern Warfare 2019, I'm not talking to y'all. Okay, look, you guys are free to like whatever you like. I said the same thing for Call of Duty Ghosts. Personally, I don't like this game. I don't like how it feels. The movement speed is so slow in this game. It feels like it takes you forever to get halfway across the map, bro. I swear. Even with the introduction of tac sprinting. Oh, also there was mounting, and people would just mount in the back of the map and just pick you up, and it was terrible. It is terrible. Now we have Call of Duty Mobile. Call of Duty Mobile released during the early life cycle of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. And it's actually a pretty good Call of Duty. It's actually a pretty fun Call of Duty. It takes basically everything from every Call of Duty ever made and blends it together. Kind of like Call of Duty Online, which no longer exists. Call of Duty Mobile for me gets a B tier because it's a pretty good Call of Duty game. I don't play it as much as I should. You might recall me having it in the background of like one of my more recent discussion videos. And it's a game I play every now and then. It's fun. It's a fun Call of Duty. Alright, Call of Duty Warzone. This also includes Warzone Caldera, okay? Right now, me personally, I do not like Warzone. I don't like Warzone. I just don't like first-person BRs in general. Which is why I didn't like really Blackout. Like, Warzone, I noticed the problems during Season 2. Season 2 of Warzone, I noticed that there were issues. Season 1, I didn't really care. I was just filling it out, see if I was going to like it, and I did like it at one point. But, after playing it, after Season 2, something just felt off. Now, here I am playing Plunder, and just something about this game just feels off, right? One night, I'm playing with my older brother, and a friend of his, and we're in quads, right? After that game, I never went back to Warzone. Never. Well, that is until Haunted Earth for Dance. But hey, it was free rewards. I only brought back Warzone free rewards. Season 5 of Warzone, I came back just to play multiplayer. Yeah. No, as you know, I already said that I already got Modern Warfare 2019 D tier. I don't really like it, right? Season 5, came back, I played some maps, and I'm not gonna lie, I did have fun, but I did have fun sometimes, but I remember skill-based matchmaking goes in, and this wasn't fun. And you know what? I don't like Warzone personally, so D tier for me personally, look, hey, look, I understand that Warzone brought, like, during pandemic Warzone was some of the most fun for a lot of people. Understandable. I understand. I totally understand. But people gotta remember, during the Cold War period, the hacking was rampant. Verdansk wasn't a very good map. People that are saying bring back Verdansk, they only want to bring back Verdansk because they're a ton of camping spots at the top. You can camp top ATC, camp on the rooftops of buildings, in downtown, camp in the dark foliage, camp in every dark corner. People just loved Verdansk because they could camp. Using the dark rose skin to camp in every dark corner. That's what people loved about Verdansk. You know it's true. Don't lie to yourself. Verdansk wasn't very good. We all know this. Now we have Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Now this Call of Duty was interesting. I originally did not like this Call of Duty when I originally didn't like it. But now that I've played it, I'm singing a different tune, okay? The campaign is phenomenal. I mean, it's not, okay, let's be honest, it's not as good as the original. It's not as good as, like, BO3. It's not as good as, like, I was about to say BO3. It's not as good as BO1 or BO2. But it is good. It is good. It's actually really good. It's the first campaign I played in a minute. It's actually really good. I'm not gonna lie, it's actually really good. The multiplayer, to me, is the weakest point because skill-based matchmaking, once again, was really thick in this game. I only played I only played a few games of multiplayer, and I don't really like multiplayer. I only like Cold War for the zombies, but I think because the Cold War zombies is really good. Whereas Black Ops 4 zombies failed, Cold War zombies revived, so to speak. I mean, not a lot of people like Cold War zombies, mind you. Not a lot of people like this, mind you, but I love Cold War zombies. I'm actually going for a Dark Aether right now. I've already got Play Diamond ARs and SMGs. I'm working on attack rifles currently. I already got the M16 going, and I'm working on the AUG. But yeah, Cold War, in my opinion, it's not the best Call of Duty, mind you. I still find it to be one of the weakest Black Ops games in terms of multiplayer. But in terms of like the modern Call of Duty, it's the best so far. It's the best one. Like literally, when I think of like the best modern Call of Duty, Cold War always comes to mind because it's like literally it's the best feeling one. Now we go up next. We got Call of Duty Vanguard. Okay, the funny thing about Vanguard and Modern Warfare 2022, these two games have similar issues. Okay, starting with Vanguard. Vanguard launched in a pretty bad state. Got like during the Christmas period, it got even worse with tons of glitches, tons of bugs, tons of glitches, and a lot of packet bursts. Lots and lots of packet bursts. Packet burst. This is basically packet burst. This is basically packet burst of the video game because every game was laggy as hell. And at the very end of Vanguard's life cycle, people were breathing sighs of relief that Vanguard was finally done. Vanguard is the one Call of Duty game where half the player base decided to dip. If it wasn't from Warzone, it's definitely from Vanguard, because Warzone also made a lot of people dip. Which is interesting because you would think, with as many players as Warzone had, it would. No, there are a ton of like-minded people that did not like Warzone, and same thing with Vanguard. Now here's the thing: underneath all the bugs and glitches, and underneath just all the mistakes, you could see what Vanguard was trying to go for. Vanguard introduced us to combat pacing. We had Blitz, Tactical, and Assault. Assault wound up being taken out later because not a lot of people, nobody was playing Assault. I think Assault was like 8v8, and Blitz is like Blitz is like the faster paced modes on like smaller maps, like Shipment, Shipmiss, and whatnot, like Dome and whatnot. And trust me, when I was playing Vanguard, I was only playing Blitz. So here's the thing: underneath all the bugs and glitches and just bad design choices, their lives are pretty decent. The Vanguard is a pretty decent Call of Duty underneath all that. But because of its shortcomings, I mean, I have personally no choice but to put it in D tier, simply because from what I heard, the campaign is pretty boring and uninteresting, and the zombies isn't very good. I've played the zombies, it's not good. I'd say the Shinonuma remake is the best thing about Vanguard zombies, but even then, I still couldn't recommend you play zombies for that when you have the better original on Black Ops 3 and on BO1 and on the original World at War. Okay, so finally we've reached the end of the modern era and the current Call of Duty we're at right now. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 2022. The campaign is phenomenal. I've watched Jeff play it. I've watched Tim the Tatman play it. Campaign is good. The Spec Ops, I haven't seen much of it, but I imagine it's not bad. I imagine it's just okay, just barely passable. Now, we're gonna save the multiplayer for last, okay? Going over to the Warzone side, Warzone 2 is bad. I'm just gonna come out and say it, it's bad. It's bad because of the dumb design choices that were made. People can't, think about it. You can't, in Warzone 1, you could sprint and move. You could sprint while plating. You can't do that no more. So you have to be very cautious of when you put plating and when you put armor on. Because if you put armor on while you're getting shot at, you're gonna have to finish that armor plate animation before you can retaliate. Also, they took out reload canceling across the board. So if you're mid reload, your gun is still empty. You could sprint around a corner and then try to jump back around the corner and try to shoot. You can't do that no more. When your character takes that magazine out, your gun is unusable until your character finishes that animation. If that animation is long, you are screwed. No red dots on the map. And Infinity Ward has put their foot down on this ever since the beta, literally, all because we don't want people to be hunted down. Then what's the point? I'm not gonna go into any details of that. I talked about this in my beta video if you haven't watched it already. On Warzone 2 is bad. The Gulag is terrible. The looting system is bad. DMZ needs some work, but it's fine, I guess. It's fine. It just needs some work. The bots have to be toned down. Literally, the bots literally almost make every time I die to a team of bots, I want to break my controller. And then the multiplayer, it's alright. It's okay. All in all, Modern Warfare 2 is just okay. It's not let's be honest, it's not a good Call of Duty. So I'm liable to just put it right here with a lot of the other games, but in my humble opinion, it barely crosses the threshold as passable for Call of Duty. Now again, underneath all the bugs and glitches and whatnot and all the constant crashes lies a really good shooter. Right? The act of shooting someone with your gun, activating streaks, that's the fun part about Call of Duty. That's what people love. People love dropping streaks and going on long kill streaks and whatnot. Modern Warfare 2, you can still do that, but good luck with that skill-based matchmaking, because if you even remotely do good in current Call of Duty nowadays, they are going to make you pay for it. You are going to suffer in your next game. Everybody in that enemy is going to be jumping around every corner, drop shotting, and it's just going to be miserable. And hey, this is what we have to deal with in our current competitive scene, skill-based matchmaking, because we gotta protect them. They gotta protect the noobs, because the noobs are what make the money. As I said before, as I said in my beta video, the older Call of Duty fans that have been playing since COD4 and up to Black Ops 2, they don't care about that no more. Well, not even Black Ops 2. Up to I say BO4. they no longer care about us. Players that have been playing stuff from Modern Warfare 2019 onward, that's what they care about. Gotta protect those news because those news give us money, which sucks, but hey, what are you gonna do? So, we're finally done with our Call of Duty. We're finally done with our updated Call of Duty tier list. I'm actually finally happy with the video that I made. I'm really happy. What time is it right now? Let me check. Gosh, I spent over 2 hours doing this. Jesus. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. This video is a little bit longer, but again, broke it down into segments. Just like I did my Fortnite tier list, which I'll probably be doing from now on. And let me know where you guys would put your favorite Call of Duties at. I know a lot of people put Modern Warfare 2 at S tier, whatnot. I know Modern Warfare 2019 will be brought up more. Warzone will be brought up more. I don't know for sure. But let me know. I'll tell you guys next video, which is obviously going to be the Christmas video, which that video is going to be interesting, okay? See you guys then, okay? Love you guys so much. Peace.